I don't know about you guys, but it seems to me like in every single one of my games, someone on the team is just blaming the support for absolutely no reason. The ADC is always pissed at them for sucking at laning. The mid laner is asking why they didn't get roams. Everyone else is asking why we don't have wards, and holy shit, it just never ends. Trust me, as a jungle main, I totally feel for you. I think those two roles are just prone to getting the most flack from teammates, and well, why did I pick these roles to play? I don't know, maybe I'm a masochist or something. Anyways, I'm here to tell you that it's not your fault. Well, probably not at least. However, there is one simple change you can make that will turn around the way your teammates see you, and even get the other team to notice that you're maybe a smurf sometimes. Side tangent, I don't even think people assume that when someone on the other team gets fed that they're smurfing. Most of the time, they just think their team is so bad that the other team got fed for absolutely no reason. And yeah, that really says a lot about how League players view their teammates. It's inconceivable that you lost to the enemy being good. It's just that everyone is bad and your teammates are the worst players alive and they all deserve to be put in jail for losing lane while you played absolutely f***ing perfectly. I just can't even comprehend how they could be so. Let's just move on from that. This is why everyone hates supports, and junglers too, and how to fix it. To start, we can take a look at a student of mine who is having me review a Kha'Zix game that he played the other day. After counter-jungling away the enemy's red buff, he has his eyes set onto a bot lane gank. With the enemies pushed up and no jungler on their side to defend them, surely this is a great opportunity, right? He pings the maximum amount of times that the game will let him, and then goes in to execute his masterful plan. Except, well, it doesn't really end up being that great. I completely 110% would blame Alistar here for not just flash engaging on the Ashe at literally any point during this, because I don't think I need to explain how easy this should have been. However, that would be in the case of competitive, not solo queue. In solo queue, we have to take into account that our teammates are not able to be controlled by us, and we have little to no say in what they do, even if we attempt to communicate with them. Because of this, we need to place the blame on ourselves at every point. Once Kha'Zix leaps in and gets Ashe's flash, he is perfectly capable of seeing that Alistar is half a screen away with his monitor off. We really can't blame him for that because why does it matter? It's not productive at all for us to get mad that our support isn't making a play we thought should be super easy to see. The reality of the situation is that he just isn't, and there's nothing we can do to change it. We have to accept that the current situation is what it is and just evaluate how to play it. Now, Kha'Zix should be happy that he got Ashe's flash and start walking back towards his team since he didn't have the required follow-up to continue. Instead, he got frustrated that his ally ignored all 6 pings and kept trying to make the play anyways, because by all means this play should have worked. Here's the thing, I'm not saying that Kha'Zix needed to just be a Buddhist monk and that Alistar is totally in the right here. I would be lying if I also didn't get extremely annoyed by my support sometimes not following through with plays that I think are obvious, and you can watch me firsthand do the exact same thing I just told you all not to do. Thresh is already going towards topside, so to me it seems perfectly logical to use his move to invade and look for a fight. I'm gonna look to make a play with Thresh here. Ooh. Thresh. Okay, maybe not, he doesn't want to do it. I felt super strong here being 6-0 and having a massive lead over everyone in the game, but I acknowledged that Thresh wasn't going to come and still did this play anyways. Maybe I just did anyways. I kind of knew Cam was here, but I thought he'd be on the camp. Just switch my Thresh Cam with me. It's still my fault, but like, I don't know. We should really just be fighting that. Whatever. At the very least, I know that this was ultimately my fault because I'm playing solo queue, and I have eyes to see that my Thresh wasn't coming with me even though I spam ping. I should have just backed up to go farm my Krugs or recall for Dragon, but I really got stuck on the fact that I thought my idea was right and fell victim to it. The point that I'm getting at is that it's human nature to think your play is right. And when someone doesn't help you make a play that you think is really obvious, you're going to be kind of annoyed. Even if your teammates are going to rage and sometimes AFK. And it's worth noting that this guide is made by the only platform that actually teaches solo queue how it should be played for those who want to climb, from the low elo perspective. The game literally needs to be played completely differently in gold, for example, than what you'll see on high elo streams or pro play if you want to climb quickly and effectively, playing with the worst, most annoying teammates imaginable who are seemingly allergic to the right play. So if you want guides that help you climb stupidly fast, packaged into incredible courses for every concept, then check out skillcapped after this. There's no reason not to, as there's no risk. Anyways, we can sit here all day and argue about what play is technically correct. But we are all playing solo queue, not competitive. It doesn't matter what the correct play is because we don't have the ability to convince our teammates that we're right, nor should we even care. Our entire job is to look at the situation at hand and problem solve how to make that the highest percent chance to win. Whether or not it's right doesn't matter at all. At this point, Thresh's highest probability play is to just sit behind me and play to land me out if I get into danger, and potentially follow up on a fight if it looks winning. Likewise, my best play is to just see that he's going to go back bottom and not invade like I initially wanted to. In either situation, both plays will work as long as we are just on the same page. The problem is, and the reason why everyone hates junglers and supports, is that your terrible teammates aren't going to have the awareness to recognize this fact, and suck up their own ego to admit that they didn't do the one thing that would help them win. They just stuck to their play and got pissed that you didn't help them. Tops and ADCs are mostly free from this scrutiny because they're in lane farming most of the game away, but us supports and junglers are running around constantly expected to make plays with other people. Unfortunately, these other people only see things their way and are definitely not going to have the self-awareness to admit to themselves that there is another way to play the game. You all just watched me, a literal challenger player, not follow my own advice, but at least I knew in the end that it was on me. Your teammates are not going to feel this way and will just assume that you are trying to run the game down because you didn't follow up on their pings. So the best way to play support isn't even the right way. It's actually just to look at what your teammates are trying to do and always figure out a way to make that play not fall on its metaphorical face. This game is a plat game I played while smurfing, and after Caitlyn satisfies my praise quota for the day, I need to do some problem solving. Our reset timer here should be like one plate and then out. We want a little bit of advantage, and even hitting this, they're ahead of us in terms of tempo, but because we're taking the dragon right now, they're really not gonna be able to get much out of it. But I still want to bully them on the bounce back here and make sure that we can pressure. Okay, because Caitlyn's staying, I'm just going to stay, and then we're just going to push this in. It's unfortunate that we didn't just reset early, but maybe with Fiddle ulti, we're just going to dive it anyways. Oh, this is a really bad timer, but I guess it's going to work anyways. Get that kill. I guess we can just do that. You should have waited like 2 seconds for the wave, and then that's way more guaranteed. I didn't think it's a bad idea, it's just that you rushed it, there's no need to do that. This play ended up working out pretty well, but it's only because I scrapped my initial idea of recalling and fighting my opponents on the bounce in order to stay and babysit my ADC. At this moment in time, I had no way of knowing that my Fiddle was going to even look for the dive, so my best course of action is to try and do the play that will let us win even without jungle help. By just basing early, we would be able to come back to lane with item advantage and just kill them as they try to crash the next wave. Unfortunately, even though I ping Caitlyn, she continues to hit tower, and at that point, I know I have to stay. If I had stuck to my initial idea of basing, Fiddle could have just gone for this anyways without me, or Caitlyn could have just died in the 2v1. Of course, things end up working out because Fiddle does look for the dive and all three of us are on the same page, but I needed to abandon my initial idea due to my teammates' actions. It doesn't matter what play is best or right, it just matters that we all went for the same thing. I use this multiple times per game. Pretty much whenever I have an idea of my own, I'm just going to ping for it. But if no one looks like they're following, I'm going to my teammates' ideas instead to make sure they don't int. I want to take this off the map again, I'm just going to keep pinging it. If my team doesn't come, it's okay, I'll just follow up on their ideas, but guys, can we just do it? Spam pinging here, that's all I can do. Ultimately, it takes a little longer than I wanted for my team to come to Herald, but they do eventually. It just requires some patience, and I can't just rush the idea and start it because I could leave them completely vulnerable on accident. When you abandon the idea of a right play and instead shift your mindset to just go for the play that gives you the highest chance to win in your situation, it tends to just be that working with your teammates will produce the best results. And as a side effect of this, they're going to like playing with you for it. It's pretty rare that supports get acknowledged in solo queue, but when I smurf, I constantly get complimented, and it's probably because I'm just implementing this into my games. My teammates feel like I'm always there to help them because I am, and in their heads, that's what a true support really is. Let us know how you implement this into your games and what the results are. Alright guys, a friendly reminder to get onto skillcapped right now if you're serious about improving. And as always, thanks for watching.